Hey everyone, it's the Angry Honey Badger here, and it is time for us to take a look at another high-ranked commentary game today. Everybody up here is of the Challenger and Diamond rankings, and also with me today we have Ranger. Ranger, how you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you?
Doing well over here. We're going to go ahead and take a look at these team compositions and talk about those first. So I'm going to go ahead and talk about the blue team. On that side, looks like we're going to have Renekton in the top lane. Vi is going to be jungling. Orianna will be covering mid lane. And then Corki will be assisted by Zyra down in the bottom lane.
And on the purple side, we have Ahri taking mid lane, Annie taking the support position, Ezreal bottom. We also have Rammus in the jungle and Shyvana in the top lane.
Yes, we do. It looks like both teams right now are currently moving out to respectable areas near the river and in their jungles. And Vi's recalling rapidly because she can, so can Renekton, which is fun. We're going to see some wards maybe go out right now, and along with them just keeping an eye on their buffs, making sure no team is invading currently. And maybe we'll get to see some action happen in a little bit. Although we do currently have 3 members of Purple Team hanging out not too far away from enemy Corki, so maybe somebody will get cut out, but we'll see what they're thinking on doing early on.
Yeah, the Annie already has a stun charge up, so if Corki does come out of that bush, it is going to be a problematic event for him.
Yeah, they're trying to stay right now in just the fog of war, just barely, so if he doesn't see them there, they could potentially do it, although they're going to back off for now. They'll probably go give Rammus a leash. Corki's just going to sit in that bush for now. He's just keeping an eye out on things. Along with Shyvana, just keeping an eye out that there's no invade towards the red buff. It looks like these teams are going to probably just play it safe early on as we have all the buffs spawning in the next couple seconds. So looks like we're going to be safe there as mid laners start to go ahead and start farming up.
You know, I want to say that Vi didn't start red, so I don't think she's going to go for a gank right off the bat. And Rammus is going to go for that top lane gank right away. So it'll be interesting to see how much farm Vi does get ahead if the gank doesn't fall through for Rammus. So we will see that.
Yeah, we're going to see what Vi's going to do, see which path she goes. She might go straight for red now and then end up ganking mid lane early, especially since it is an Ahri, and you got to be careful to not get her too fed early on in the game because she can become kind of make a lot of problems late game. So we'll see where she goes with that. We also did have Shyvana sneak her head in on that blue buff, but nothing was done there. She just, I think, was letting them know, hey, I'm watching you, and I'm seeing that you are starting at blue, so now my team is at least aware of where Vi will be on the map at certain times.
You know, that's really important to do, to let your team know what buffs the other junglers start at.
Looks like Ahri actually getting a decent taunt off on Orianna. Orianna's going to shield herself real quick. We have Annie moving out for a quick stun. Corki taking an ignite and a lot of damage. He's going to have the Valkyrie away. Looks like Zyra's working on Ezreal, though, real quick. She's going to take a lot of damage. Vi is coming in, though, now with the charge. She's going to, try to catch up to Annie, but she will flash out of the way. I think that will break the engagement, and these guys will just leave each other alone.
Yeah, Zyra kind of stuck around a little bit too long right there. Like, he did not need to take all that damage.
No, it looks like Vi's trying to move back in again. She is spotted, though, by Annie, so I think those two will have to beat a retreat, and Vi will probably just return to her jungle for a second so she can go continue to pick up some gold and some experience. But really early engagement in bottom, and these ADCs are both fairly low, both of them starting with a Doran's Blade, so they're not getting tons of life back, and they don't have healing supports with them, so they're going to have to be careful to avoid some damage coming in from these enemy supports, and maybe we'll see another little fight in a second, since they're both hanging out around the 300, 400 health mark.
Yeah, Rammus was seen by the ward, but he's still looming around. That makes it so Renekton can't push regardless.
Yeah, Renekton had a little bit of advantage. It looks like Ahri is going to go in hard and ignite Orianna. Oh, she's going to flash and bury to stay away from that next Q. She will send the orb back out. But she's just going to barely get away from that exchange as Rammus is coming in now on mid lane as Vi is currently holding position there, but I think he'll just roll through.
You know, I didn't mention this, and I apologize. Orianna went with Barrier, and Barrier is a really safe bet against an Assassin, because you have that shield plus Barrier. There's no way Ahri can burn you down in the first 11, 12 levels. So it's a really safe summoner pick.
Yeah, it's probably a good call, and it looks like it did come in handy there as she did take a lot of damage. The barrier didn't really soak up too much, but it makes you rethink about committing to a fight. So definitely a pretty smart move, but now it will be down along with that flash, so she'll have to be a little bit carefuler in lane. Maybe Rammus will start to exploit that a little bit and try to gank it as well. But we looks like Renekton's getting pushed, actually. Vi is up here. He's going to move in and ignite her, immediately stun her. Vi charges in, Ballbreaker, and First Blood going to Renekton real quick with the assist from Vi.
That was way too easy. Like, Shyvana was so overcommitted. Her W was down. It was just too easy.
Yeah, a lot of damage coming in, though, real quick on Zyra. She is going to die. Looks like also Orianna getting taunted by Ram is coming for that gank. Orianna's trying to get away, though, and she will not. She'll fall to Ahri, as well as Zyra dying in bot lane, too. So, looks like that kill going to Ezreal. And definitely a couple quick kills for the purple team. Should give them a little advantage right now, and a little bit of a pushing advantage right now. Though, it looks like we do have Vi coming in on mid to try to cover that lane.
That double taunt was nasty from Rammus. It's the Rammus taunt right into an Ahri charm. That is just, you're not getting away from that. You are not.
Yep. It looks like Vi is just going to cover that. Looks like Rammus actually is over in the bottom at blue jungle, keeping his eye out, looking for buffs, seeing what might be respawning. We don't have any buffs that will respawn yet. We're only at 5 minutes, so nothing coming up till the 7:10-ish mark for anything there. But he's down here. I don't think he'll be able to do any ganking because of the lane being pushed. But now we have to see maybe a little bit of defensive play coming in mid lane. She's going to need a ward up too to avoid those rapid fire ganks from Rammus. So she'll have to play a lot safer.
Vi really stuck in the jungle a long time. She's already level 6 at 6 minutes into the game. So we're looking for her to go back right now. Oh, she is going back, and she's going to immediately gank a lane with her ultimate being up.
Yes, that'll be actually really helpful. She hit 6 insanely fast, really. I mean, she's ahead of her top laner. She's ahead of everybody on her team. So that'll bring a lot of presence in the game, and that will help them out early. Big fight happening in top lane. Renekton is ignited and is currently trying to get away, but will not escape. And she will pick up a kill. Although now we have Ahri moving in on Orianna with her ultimate, and one more charm away from the tower to pick up a nice kill on Orianna as she tries to get away.
As soon as Ahri hit 6, the immediate engage happened. Again, you're an ultimate up on a champion, so as soon as that happens, you should dive, fully go in on the enemy so they don't have their ultimate yet. I mean, it's an easy win, easy exchange.
Yep, your damage ahead, and you have a whole ability ahead, and you might as well use advantage of it. Worst case scenario, you don't quite kill them, you send them back, you get another level advantage on them, and you're level 7 by the time they get back to lane, they're 5. You can just force them out again. Looks like Vi is actually invading right now, trying to get to blue buff. Looks like she knows Rams and Ahri are heading towards her. She's going to have to make a bit of a retreat here, and Rammus might just try to cover, and maybe he'll head back, try to get that blue buff for his mid laner. And Vi might try to sneak her head in here and steal this. I don't know if she's going to be brave enough to do so, but we'll have to keep an eye on that. Though we have an engagement happening at bottom. Corki taking a lot of damage from Annie and Ezreal. Zyra moving in to kind of help out, but she will pick up that stun from Annie. Looks like Vi is still hanging out. She's going to try to move in. The blue buff will go to Rammus. He will smite it to just make sure that she does not get it, and she'll just have to get out of there. She did take an ignite, so that will be down from Ahri, but looks like Ahri will not get the blue buff, so maybe that will help out Orianna in the lane a little bit.
Yeah, it was a great play by Vi. Vi went in there and put a ward down, and they knew the ward was down, so Rammus could not give it to Ahri. He had to smite it and take it, and that just hurts your mid lane just a little bit. So it was a really great play by Vi.
Yep, and she got out without giving up a kill too, so that was important to not only deny the blue to the mid laner, but make sure she doesn't feed a kill to either of them, because doesn't want to fall behind any further. She actually just went up and took the red buff away from Rammus. He may have been expecting that could happen. Looks like Renekton and Siobhan are running around a lot up in top lane. Oh, just throwing down wards, making sure that they have coverage in case they're going to get ganked. So we'll have to see what develops up there. Although down here we do have Tibbers out from Annie, but it looks like not too much damage coming from it.
Yeah, that was kind of weird. Annie didn't have the stun up and still threw Tibbers out. So we can say maybe a misplay. It was really odd. It just seemed like a casual Tibbers. Like, hey, Tibbers is scary, back up. And that was all that happened. So.
Looks like Annie actually just pinged for them to go for a dragon. She does have Tibbers up, so Tibbers can tank it a little bit. We have Rammus moving in as well, and Ezreal moving over there as well. So I think what they're doing right now is taking a dragon with the help of Tibbers, so at least they're putting Tibbers to some good use with that damage, and just with the ability to take a look at it. They are going to get the dragon, and yeah, looks like there's nothing blue team can do about it. Vi was on her way, but just not soon enough. They actually are engaging on Annie, dealing a lot of damage. Corki's going to Valkyrie over, try to get closer. She will flash away. Ezreal will flux through that wall. Zyra dropping an ultimate, but they're just not going to be able to dive that, especially with Rammus hanging out at the back of that tower.
That was really close. I don't think Zyra needed to do the ultimate. Like, Annie was too far under tower, and they knew that they had help, but I mean, again, you're trying to force people back. You're trying to force openings, make plays. That's really important to do. So,
looks like Ahri might be coming towards bot lane. Vi's been spotted though by Ezreal. They knew that Ezreal was alone. They may have dove him there, especially with the Vi ultimate, which is currently up. So she has that available. Right now, we have Renekton though taking quite a bit of damage right now from Shyvana in top, so we got to be careful about that. He's getting forced out of lane a little bit, so we'll have to see how that affects him in the long run. They are both farming about on level with each other, so that's good at least, but definitely have some problems with her up there, so we'll have to keep an eye on that as well. But we'll see what's going on around the map too as it continues. Looks like Rams is moving in. Quick taunt onto Zyra. She's going to be killed by Annie, actually. A lot of damage coming from Annie, so that kill maybe would have been better off to go to the Ezreal, who currently is behind in farm by over 20, but he does have a BF sword, so we'll see how that works out.
You know, I want to talk about Renekton's build. He went for damage, and Shyvana went pure tank. She already has that chain vest going, and it's just making it so the exchanges always go in Shyvana's favor. I really don't know what Renekton's going with, maybe a Hydra, but it just seems like he gave the early game away when Renekton's such an early game powerhouse anyways. So interesting build on his part.
Yeah, I'm surprised he's not going for a Sunfire. Pretty good straight damage against her in top lane. It looks like we have Ahri and everyone hanging out by blue buff or red buff where it would be. Vi is over there, so they know that's happening. And I think everybody will just make a little retreat out of there. Interestingly enough, we do have, like I was saying, these 80 carries aren't actually too close in farm. We do have Renekton doing a lot of damage to this tower as she went off to go run into the jungle. So getting some work done up there, that needs to happen. He needs to make maybe that tower fall so he can potentially start to farm without her being in lane so he's not getting forced out. Also, blue team could use the gold. They are down by almost 2,000 gold right now. They could definitely use an objective, especially since they are down right now one dragon as well. So they need to keep in mind that they are behind, and they know that they are behind. So they need to maybe get a tower and try to force some other pushing and try to group this a little bit sooner, see if they can get something done in time before this starts to get out of hand. Because currently 1 to 5, not a huge deal, but definitely weighs on your mind a little bit that something isn't going in your favor.
Well, it's scary right now because Ahri is 2-0, has a CS lead and global gold on her side. So Orianna's going to have to play really smart to make sure that Ahri doesn't get to snowball. She's already working on that Deathfire Grasp, and that can be a problem. Huge problem in mid-game.
Looks like Renekton's trying to move in onto Shyvana just a little bit, dealing some damage, but he did have to pop the ultimate, so I don't know what he's going to do, if he's just trying to push this, maybe deal a little bit more damage to her, force her back, or just see if he can try to rapid fire this tower. He's going to have to be careful doing that. He's not warded. Neither of them are in top lane right now. Actually, he's going to have to play real safe. We do have Rammus, though, sneaking in on bottom lane right now as Rengar going in. Actually, with the Ignite, oh, she's going to try to get away, but she will not be able to. So he'll probably try to push this tower now and pick it up, and that will definitely help the team out with gold. We also do have Rammus sitting in this back bush in bot lane, but Vi is also down here hanging out behind the tower, so we'll have to see what happens. I don't know if anybody knows if either of them is hanging out around there. We'll have to keep an eye on that.
Renekton's playing this really well. Every time Renekton clears a wave, he goes and sits in the bush. This makes it so Shyvana doesn't know where he's at. He can always get the jump on him, and it's just, I don't know, it's taking information away from your opponent. Anytime you can deny vision from your opponent, it's in your benefit. There's no way it hurts you. So it's a great play. Renekton's playing top lane so well right now.
Looks like Rammus wants to do something, but I think Blue might be aware of this, and they're just, they're staying away. It looks like Rammus is actually finally going to leave bot lane after sitting down there for over a minute. So we're going to have to keep an eye. He's moving back towards blue. It looks like Vi actually now is going to try to move in from River. They have Tri-warded, but not River. She'll be able to sneak in here if they don't see this. Oh, no, she moved over by Tri-bush, so they did see that. So blue buff looks like it will this time now go over to Ahri, so she will finally get her first blue. Renekton's actually leashing the blue buff for blue side, so Orianna can get that as well. So both of these mids will both now have a blue buff with about the same time on them, so over the same duration. So we'll have to see how that will help Orianna in lane, whether or not it helps her or if it hurts her. I don't think it should hurt her, but you never know unless she feeds it away.
That's a really good play by Renekton, just to help out his mid lane. Help him get to lane faster. I mean, because it's annoying taking your second blue by yourself, so.
Renekton using the ultimate again. He did rush that Hydra. He is taking a lot of damage, though. I don't think he's going to get away from this. Oh, a lot of damage coming in on bottom. Zyra falling immediately. And Corki trying to deal damage, but not enough. He has Tibbers chasing at him. Renekton did get away from that top engagement, but we do have Rammus sitting in that bush. He wants to move in for this. Rammus knows that he needs to get over here to help because a little bit too much damage happening might be a problem. He needs to get in there now. He is moving in right now from the river. He's trying to get in. He's going to die this. He's going to taunt him, and I think he will fall. Yes, he will to Shyvana.
That's just poor Renekton. He almost got it twice, and then he ends up overcommitting too far and getting killed. That's just that's demoralizing, if nothing else. So And Shyvana went Sunfire, so she's incredibly tanky with that Dragon form and the passive already. She just has a whole bunch of armor and magic resist already, and it's just making Renekton have a hard time burning him down.
Vi's coming in, just using the ultimate straight out. She is trying to finish off. There it is. I was going to say, you can't let her get away.
Yeah, that was a little close. I thought it was going to go away.
She'll pick up the kill at least, and that will help her out. Vi could actually be one of those champions to kind of scare you late game if she does at least okay throughout the mid game phase. Looks like Ahri is moving in with the ultimate, just bursting down Orianna immediately. And she'll be able to probably pick up the mid tower as well, since no one is currently anywhere close to covering it. And that will fall, giving purple team another 2k gold advantage.
And that also refreshes Ahri's blue, which is kind of terrifying because he's 20 CS up, he's 3 kills up, almost has the DFG done, and is going to start roaming mid game and ruining a whole bunch of days today. So I'm excited for that.
Yeah, that last fight almost looked like the DFG was up because just how much damage hit so hard so fast. But now we do have purple team moving in for another dragon, their second one of the match. Ahri was heading this direction. She is currently going back. There's probably nothing blue can really do about this. Vi is getting close to here. Oh, yep, Ahri is going to come down here. Vi's charging in. Oh, she's not going to be able to pick up the Ignite. She actually gets taunted, immediately dropped by Tibbers, and a charm coming in from Ahri. Oh, she will flash through the wall, but Ezreal chases through to pick up the quick kill.
You know, it was a good attempt for Vitus to get the steal, but that lockdown inside that Dragon Pit was just way too much to get out. He couldn't even flash out for 80% of his health, so poor Vi on that one.
Renekton and Shyvana going at another skirmish. She is really tanky, he is really damaged, but I think overall he's going to have a problem with that. Looks like Corki's going to get stunned by Annie. Tibbers is moving in to deal some damage too. He's going to chase around, try to get over to her, but he needs to retreat now at this point. He will flash away, but Ezreal, once again, another awesome just dash over, picking up kills.
Ezreal hid behind Tibbers that entire time to block Corki's missile barrage, and also just not taking the damage from auto attacks. Make it a little bit harder. Maybe he'll click Tibbers and stuff. That's a really good play. And that ultimate was very interesting. It was an intimidation ultimate. It's a diamond tactic. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, it's a new tactic that they've been trying out. It works real well. Anyways, Renekton getting into a taunt and a little bit of a fight against both these champions, actually being pretty beefy with that ultimate. He's actually going to be able to pick up a kill on Rammus, which is going to be helping him out quite a bit. Especially with this little bit of offshoot build he has going on. He needs this damage to pay out for him. If it doesn't, he will just get absolutely steamrolled. It looks like she's going to start chasing, which makes him believe he will maybe be getting chased by the mid laner, Ahri, who currently shows up with all of her damage. He does pick up the kill on Shyvana, but he will fall to Ahri as she becomes on a rampage.
Okay, I don't want to sound like I'm in love with this Renekton, but the fact that he knows, he sees that he's going to die and turns around immediately onto Shyvana and does as much damage as he can while it's still a 1v1. And that's why I picked up the kill. If he would have waited 2 more seconds, it would have been a 2-on-1. But instead he turned it, made it a 1-on-1, got the kill, because he knew he was going to die. He knew there was no way out of that. So again, Renekton's playing so well at top lane right now. It's just something you guys should watch, pay attention to, see why he's getting away with what he's doing. He's pushing heavily even though he was losing 1v1s. So
yeah, it's always smart to recognize if you're going to fall and someone else is maybe kind of low, move in on them and try to get the kill if you can, because if you know you're going to fall, why are you running? You need to do something with it. Purple team's tower will fall. Blue team's just probably going to make a little bit of a retreat. We do have a lot of champions down here. It is a 4v4 situation, although not all ultimates are up. Although Ahri's Spear Rush is almost back off cooldown. If she wants to move in, she probably can, but I think they're probably all just going to retreat from here. Although Blue might want to hold on to their tower. It might get pushed immediately, as I see a couple of them are going to retreat. So we'll see if Corki... Oh, no, Orianna's going to hang out. Vi moving back towards Purple Team's blue buff. She wants to try to sneak in here and take this, but she's a little... Yeah, she actually is going to smite it over the wall.
Oh, that is just so annoying. That is just so annoying right now. I feel bad for that Ahri. That's the second time he's lost out on blue.
Ooh, Valkyrie coming in, but getting stunned at the same time. And, oh, Ezreal is just unstoppable right now. Landing the ultimate, getting over there, landing a couple Qs, and just standard attacking in between, and just really picking up all the damage. Now, if we actually take a look at these builds right now, it looks like we have Ezreal starting off with the Infinity Edge. A little bit of a different tactic for Ezreal. You don't see it all the time, but it can work quite well. It's a lot of damage to deal. And it looks like Corki is going to be going with the Trinity Force, so he does have that finish. We'll see how that works out. Vi getting into a bit of a fight with Ahri. Orianna now showing up with her ultimate, and, oh, not her ultimate, with a shield. And Rammus moving in hard with his Tremors. Looks like she's going to charge in here. Oh, she will fall, but will... Oh, and a charm coming in from Ahri, slowing her down, getting space in between her and Rammus, and not being able to pick up the kill.
That last second charm was a heartbreaker.
Knew the delayed ultimate from Renekton under the tower, but he is ignited. He's going to barely get away for a second. He's going to flash. Oh, but he falls anyways.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. Renekton again did a good exchange, barely got away, and that's unfortunate that he got hit by that the flame breath by Shyvana. But again, Shyvana's applying the pressure now. She has 3,000 life. She has 200 armor right now. So excuse me. So she's just doing so much more damage to Renekton than Renekton's doing right now. So
I think that's the big difference between those two champions right now. Both of these champions, regardless of their builds, will always deal a certain amount of damage because their kits luckily just are built that way. She's got AoE, and he also has it with his ultimate, and just there's some solid damage there too, especially with his armor shred. And there's just some things there. The only thing I think slowing him down right now is the fact that he doesn't have enough of the defensive side, and he can't compete with how much she has. So these 1v1s are really coming down to, is his ultimate up, and will it be enough of a buff to keep him alive in a fight? So we'll have to keep an eye on that. Looks like Vi's actually taking a lot of damage from this Ahri right now, trying to get away from it. Ooh, Charm just barely missing as she dashes through that wall. She's just going to make a little quick retreat, but that was a lot of damage coming in really quick. Ow, Renekton moving in fast. Oh, Vi's back. She's going to ult Ahri. She will get ulted by Orianna, and she will fall. The taunt coming in, though, from Rammus, taunting Renekton under the tower, but he doesn't care. He's going to chase. Zyra with a weird ultimate to hit Annie, but not actually hitting her at all, since Annie does have the stun up currently. But, ooh, he wanted to move back in there for that taunt, but nothing to happen there.
Yeah, it's still a 4-on-3 right now. So even though the champions are a little bit low and they use some stuff, it's still not worth going in right now. You're outnumbered, outgunned. Just take the tower hit and back up.
Blue team really wants to try to get this mid tower. Theirs is down. Also, other towers are down. They need to try to, once again, catch back up. It is now back to 3 towers for 3 towers. So they're keeping the towers even, but they have missed out on a couple dragons. So they really need to try to contest the next one, especially if they want to try to stay in this game. You can tell right now that all their lanes are getting pushed a little bit more against them. They're having just a little bit harder time getting some of that work down. And they also don't currently have anyone like Ahri or Ezreal who can kind of solo brawl anyone they please right now, because both of them are quite fed. So Ahri will go burst down anyone right now, and they really need to make some plays. They do see that dragon is up. We'll see if they make a play for it.
Yeah, Shyvana just finished her 2 items, so she has an insane amount of armor right now. Orianna's pretty much the only one that can do damage to her, and I really think she's just going to continue to push top lane, and there's not going to be an answer from the blue team. That's just going to be the occurring problem, is Shyvana's pushing. What do we do to stop her?
Looks like they're going to get in time to brawl, though. Orianna is here. Renekton's trying to do everything he can. Oh, Corki immediately charmed by Ahri and getting blown up by Ezreal. So, unfortunate there, and that will make Purple Team move over for this dragon probably immediately, knowing now that they have a 4v5 advantage on the map. So, they're going to go ahead and move over here. Vi's going to try to get down here, maybe try to smite Sealis, but I'm not sure she'll be here in time. Nope, she will not, and she's not even going to bother it.
Or, I'm sorry, Ahri didn't even DFG Corki. That was just straight up being ahead on Ahri damage right there. It's kind of scary right now for Corki. I don't think he'll be able to go into team fights with Ahri flying around with Spirit Rush and DFG.
Rammus finding Orianna on the other side of the jungle. Vi coming over, though. Oh, actually, she's going to make a retreat. Orianna's going to try to get away. She's going to shield herself, which is going to protect her a little bit. Renekton trying to get over here to maybe get in the way. He should throw down a stun. Yeah, he was going to. And getting in the way, and luckily helping Orianna escape just barely. But Purple Team now probably going to pick up maybe a free tower in mid. They're probably just going to tank through this. Yep, and pick up another tower to get another 1 tower advantage on them. And now, Blue Team actually pinging Baron saying, hey, we got to keep an eye on this now. They have an advantage on pushing, and they might try to make a move for this coming up.
Yeah, it's interesting right now. I don't know what exactly Orianna's going to go for right now. She's incredibly behind Ahri right now, and you need that answer. You need that mid lane answer for the mid and late game. So we'll see what Orianna goes for the next item.
Vi moving in on Annie, getting caught out a little bit. Corki's over here too, although she does drop Timbers. Oh, she will pick a kill up though, Orianna, and they're immediately pinging this Baron. They see that Shyvana is pushing in the top lane. She does get a turret out of the deal, but they need to make a quick play against this. It's a 4v5 situation, and though purple team is quite aware that this is happening, they are all trying to move in from all corners. Looks like we're probably going to have Shyvana go in on this first, maybe, although Rammus now rolls in. Tremor's coming out. We'll see who picks up this Baron, which smite goes off. It looks like blue team will secure the Baron, although Ahri immediately killing Zyra, although Shyvana falls to Renekton. Renekton moving over to this Ezreal, trying to force him out of the fight. Corki falls to both. Actually, Renekton and Corki falling to Ezreal. Oh, and a triple kill from Ahri. So they cleaned up that Baron nicely.
That was an incredibly close fight, though. Ezreal barely lived from Renekton. Ahri barely lived from Orianna. Anything could have changed that, and a completely different outcome would have happened. It was a great call by Blue to rush for that Baron. They got it just before they got there. It was a gutsy call. It didn't work out for him, but it was a decent call. It was still a good call, regardless if it didn't work out.
They needed to make something happen, and they did make the play on Baron happen, and that's gold right there, which does help them. Unfortunately, they lost a tower while moving over for it in top lane, and Ezreal and Rammus are going to clean up that mid lane turret, so we'll have to see how this affects them. We'll see which items will help them out, too, at this point, but right now we have a legendary Ezreal and a 8-1 Annie, or not Annie, sorry, Ahri, and we'll have to keep an eye on what that's going to do for them. We'll see what strategy these teams work out now at this point. But, I mean, no team has Baron right now, so no buffs that they have to worry about. Ahri did take the blue on a blue side of the map, and it looks like Ezreal will then take this one to help him out a little bit. So we'll see what goes on after this point.
Yeah, right now Shyvana's going for Bork, so now she's going to start putting in damage items. I see a lot of people, they go too tanky. Shyvana already has enough armor to basically resist a nuclear holocaust. So as long as Shyvana doesn't take a whole bunch of damage from Orianna, which I don't think is going to happen, he can go damage now.
Oh man, immediately blown up as Annie by the whole team. She pretty much just walked into that, so that was an interesting non-play, but a little bit of gold though going back to blue team. They'll take all they can get. They need to pick up those individual kills, and then they can roam over as a team. If they can pick off one other person and make it a 3v5, maybe they can get a lane push. Vi moving in though, real quick, using Vault Break. Oh no, never mind. Just Shyvana dragoning away.
They use Vault Breaker on Annie. There was a lot of ultimates used on Annie, and yeah, it's still good to pick it up, but now they just can't kill Shyvana. They have not one person on the team that can chase down and kill Shyvana right now. So.
While they're actually worrying about Shyvana too in bot lane, it looks like they're trying to make a play in here to get this inhibitor, although it looks like Ahri taking a little bit of damage. Renekton trying to get up here. Ooh, flashing, although she's just going to just Spirit Rush away so she doesn't get caught out anymore. They have a very, very mobile team looking at purple side. So, not that blue has a very unmobile team, but Shyvana's quick, Rammus is quick, Ahri dashes around, Ezreal dashes around. The only person who doesn't dash around is Annie, but she's just going to stun people when she can, so she doesn't really have to worry about it as much.
They know right now where Shyvana is. It's kind of interesting how they're going to play this. I think they just have to give up their red buff, which is just another slap to the face. You're just like, I really would like that, and if you could just not take that from me, I would appreciate it.
And if blue team can get over here as a team, though, Ahri is in base. Oh, it's going to be gone already, though, but maybe they'll find somebody. Ooh, Vi moving in. She's trying to find them caught out. They are going to have to just beat a retreat, though, out of that jungle. And we'll see how this helps or hurts. But right now, if we just go back and take a look at farm and items, pretty much everyone on the purple team is ahead, except for Corki, who is ahead in farm by 15. But he doesn't have a kill yet. And he is really lacking damage. He's got his boots, and he's got his Triforce. But we are 28 minutes into this game, and those are basically your only 2 items you have finished. And that's not good, considering your Ezreal has 4 completed items. So he is definitely missing a lot of damage in comparison. Also, kind of the same story going on with the mids as well. Just a lack of damage in comparison. When you look at Orianna versus Ahri, there's just a little bit, there's a difference there. Orianna, though, I mean, luckily she has a lot of utility, which is helpful, but I don't know if it'll be enough in these fights to contribute just enough for them to turn these fights around. They are going to work on this inhibitor. They are probably going to be able to pick this up before the fight completely breaks out. Ooh, it needs one more hit. Renekton's trying to move in. It looks like Vi's in here now. Good ultimate from Orianna. They're trying to get them all stacked up. A good ultimate from Zyra trying to come in there. Shyvana, though, now is on the back lines, bursting down everyone, creating havoc. Ahri's going to have to escape with Spear Rush. She is ignited, though. She is going to live. She does kill Renekton. Corki will fall to Shyvana under the main turret, and Ezreal picks up a kill while falling to the towers on Orianna.
You know, even though blue team is 10 gold or 10k gold behind, they're still making these team fights incredibly close. Again, Ari almost died to Renekton. Shyvana tanked a lot of tower shots, but they're really close fights. These are really well done, even though they are so far behind.
Yeah, purple team's just using their little bit of muscle and more damage to really win those fights. I mean, yeah, you stated it right. There's a lot of good focus happening, and they're getting everyone low. They just can't quite seal the deal. It looks like purple team will just maybe be able to finish this off. Zyra is back up. She's going to move in. Oh, no, they're just going to have to back out. It looks like everyone is respawning. Vi with Home Guard moving in. We'll see if she can get there. She does get taunted by Ari. Oh, moving over to Annie. Annie will fall, though, to Vi. Vi continuing to chase. Oh, but you can't really catch up to the dragon when it runs off that fast. So, looks like purple team's going to ping that they need to maybe keep an eye on their mid and maybe attempt to get this dragon just so blue doesn't get it. Because that is gold that will potentially catch them up, and they don't want to run into that problem. We also do have Baron respawning shortly, so we'll have to keep an eye on that as well. As much as they don't have turrets in their base, they might want to safely get one more Baron, or just actually prevent blue team from getting it, because that might allow them to make one more final stand and then be able to push off of it. So we'll have to keep an eye on that as well.
Yeah, I definitely expect in 1 minute for blue side to rush this Baron. They have to make a play again. They know that don't have a lot of options right now, so it'll be really important to take this.
Oh, Vi ulting in immediately on Shyvana. Shyvana's gonna make an escape, but that was an interesting call, trying to get her out of the way. They knew if they could have probably killed her, that would have left her down, or maybe respawning just as this Baron happening. So they're trying to make something happen, maybe right before also this Baron potentially comes up, so they have a little advantage, because they know how a 5v5 could potentially go. They need to keep an eye on maybe making it a 4v5, something in their favor, so maybe makes just it a little bit easier. Maybe if they can catch Annie out, who's currently moving over, maybe trying to go throw some wards down. It looks like Rammus is going to join her, though, make it a little bit safer trip so she doesn't get caught out alone.
Yeah, Renekton just isn't tanky anymore. Like, if you look at his item, he does have the Randuins, but compared to Shyvana had 20% health when Vi ultimated her. Shyvana left the fight with 20% health. You just don't have enough to chunk down how big Shyvana is right now. It's going to make a huge difference in this upcoming Baron fight when Shyvana can just jump in there and tank 2 or 3 people.
Rammus is trying to catch up to Corki. Corki, though, going to Valkyrie out. Vi moving in. Looks like Ezreal's just going to make a straight run to base, although looks like blue team's kind of getting torn apart in this fight. We have Shyvana going so deep right now. Oh, Ezreal actually coming back to help the team out. Ari picking up a kill on Zyra. And Rammus killing Corki, Ari on Orianna. Nobody's going to be able to live. Purple team will be able to clean this up. Renekton just running now for no reason. He's just going to play some trickery, but I don't think he's going to be able to get away. And she's going to find you, bro. You're not going to get away from that. So, wow, with a flash through the wall.
He's having a little fun here. But Vi, that was a big blunder by Vi. I don't know if he thought Rammus was by himself, but he really just went all into the team, got CC, didn't even get Val Breaker off, and it just ended up dying.
And that is going to be the game. Going to purple team, just a little bit better work and getting ahead early on in that game. What were some of those key plays happening in that game to put them in a position to win?
Well, if you remember, Annie definitely used Tivers to force Zyra back a little bit, and then they went immediately to Dragon. And that's just that little boost from that ultimate as soon as Annie hit 6. And then Ari stayed in dominance mid-game. I mean, the fact that as soon as she hit 6, she was all over Orianna again, and just really making it hard for Orianna. That, and then the fact that Rammus's ganks, he, again, put mid ahead. He shut down Renekton early game a little bit. These are really important things that were done during the game that just might not seem like they're too important, but really make it so everything just went in purple team's favor.
Yeah, purple team with a great victory on this match. Just some solid work all around in that tower pushing, and that's going to definitely get you a win in the long run, keeping the enemy team just in kind of that disarray. But thank you for joining us today for this high-rate game, and hopefully we will see all of you with us next time. Is just a little bit left. Actually, Blitzcrank with a rocket grab on to Ari. She is going to use her ult to get out once again. J4 is now trying to move in. They will get the dragon for blue team, and we have Nocturne moving in quickly to Lee Sin as they all converge on blue.